Hello, everyone. This is Mark Dempsey from the National Convergence Technology Center. Thanks for joining us for this attendee orientation video. For the first time, the 2020 edition of Summer Working Connections will be offered all online. This video will provide background on the program, offer some impact numbers, and also discuss a few things you need to know to make the most of our time together this July. Joining me today will be Debbie Miller, who, among many things here at the CTC, also serves as the Working Connections Registrar. Let's start with the big picture. Working Connections is sponsored by us, the National Convergence Technology Center, and we are funded by a $3.9 million 5-year grant from the National Science Foundation. Our center is built on the work of the previous NSF grants here at Collin College, which is just north of Dallas. These grants have all been led by the Principal Investigator, or PI, and Behealer. Right now, our grant work is supported by 8 partner colleges, plus the 76 community colleges and universities across the country that form the membership of our community of practice called the CCN, the Convergence College Network. If your college would like to join the CCN and get plugged into this network of IT programs and faculty across the country, please email me. Working Connections is actually included in our mandate. One of our grant goals is, quote, program improvement to meet workforce needs. And that comes in 2 parts. The professional development, which we will provide to you in July, and then also the longitudinal surveys we send out each January to measure the classroom and program impact of that professional development. More on that in a moment. The goals of Working Connections are to deliver cost-effective training on emerging topics, to use that training to impact students, that is, take what you learn home with you and get that into the classrooms within 12 months, and to facilitate networking with your faculty peers. The last one's going to be tricky this July, of course, but we're looking at virtual ways to help connect you during the week, like always.
Since the first Working Connections in 2002 at Richland College in Dallas, over 800 faculty attendees have attended 38 Working Connection events. That number includes Winter Working Connections and the many Working Connections we've helped host in other cities. During these last 18 years, Working Connections has addressed over 100 different topics. The January longitudinal surveys give us important impact numbers. Since we first started conducting the surveys in 2008, faculty members like you have reported over 143,000 students impacted across 13,000 plus sections. In addition, over 400 degrees or certificates have been implemented. All of this is the direct result of Working Connections tracks. This is why the longitudinal surveys are so important to us. It's the best way to show classroom and program impact to the National Science Foundation. Each January, we send survey links to all Working Connection attendees from the last 3 years. In other words, this January, attendees from 2018, 19, and 20 Working Connections will get an email from me asking you to complete the longitudinal survey. If you've attended more than one event since 2018, you'll get more than one email. It's one survey per each Working Connections event. This past January's response was 59%, but we see no reason why it can't be much higher given the free training we're providing. We know you find it valuable, so we need you to help us prove it by responding to the January survey request. Here's a quick look at the schedule. Monday through Thursday, classes will run from 8:30 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. On Friday, classes will run in the morning only from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Central. Please note that this is a synchronous event. You are expected to be there every day. We ask also that you log in extra early on Monday morning to allow plenty of time for our technical troubleshooting. Our wiki website for Summer Working Connections provides details of your track and the overall program schedule. This is also where we will post the event survey links. If you haven't already, we encourage you to visit the website and take a look around. The URL is on the screen.
Before the training begins, please be sure to do these following things. Check in with your instructor. We've asked instructors to contact the attendees at least a week prior for any final requirements, details, and class expectations. If you don't hear from your instructor, please feel free to send an email with any questions. You want to be sure you're connected to your instructor before Working Connections begins on July 13th. Read your track page. Any updates from your instructor will be posted on the track page. There may be special downloads or software. There may be advanced videos or reading. And ask questions. The first Monday morning is always a challenge with everyone logging in and getting settled and troubleshooting problems. If you have concerns or questions, get them addressed if possible in advance. Don't wait for Monday morning, July 13th. By now, we're all work-at-home experts, but please remember that calling into Zoom or WebEx isn't always toll-free. Beware of that. During the event, please keep in mind that you may not switch tracks once Working Connections has started. The last day to cancel your registration or request a track switch is Friday, June 26th. Please do not share your classroom link. Your registration is for you only, not your department colleagues. Everyone must complete 3 surveys during the week. There's one quick first day survey at the end of the day on Monday, which will help make sure everyone's on the same page. This is a great chance for us to adjust the track if there are any concerns from anyone. There are also 2 surveys on Friday at the end of the program, an overall survey and a track-specific survey. These are mandatory. If you don't do them, you may be ineligible to attend Working Connections events in the future, and nobody wants that. As Debbie mentioned, you must attend every session, both morning and afternoon, to receive your certificate of completion. This is a synchronous class. You're expected to participate in real time. Instructors will be conducting a morning roll call and afternoon roll calls, but please be proactive with this so you get credit for attending. If you're running late and happen to miss the opening of the session, be sure to let your instructor know that you're there so you can be counted as present. And finally, if you have to miss any time or miss a session, let Debbie or me know, not your instructor. After the event ends, be sure to use what you've learned in your classroom. Working Connections is all about student impact. That's the reason we're doing this. And number 2, please remember again about the longitudinal survey that you'll be getting in January. We need your feedback. Please save the date now for our Winter Working Connections online event. That's going to be running December 14th to 16th, 2020. That's all day Monday and Tuesday, then Wednesday morning. The tracks for now are all TBD, but you'll have a chance on your summer surveys to give us suggestions for what topics you'd like to see at Winter Working Connections. If you have any questions or concerns about this webinar, specifically, or Summer Working Connections in general, please email us. You can learn more about the National Convergence Technology Center by using that bit.ly there on the screen. And here again is the URL for the Summer Working Connections wiki page. Thank you for your time.